10 things I wish that I would have known about fragrances when I started collecting them many years ago. Coming up next. Welcome back, everybody, to Joel the Nose. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. By the way, if you haven't checked out my Instagram, it's Joel at Joel Adrian Brown. I'll put it down below, put the link. Go ahead and check it out. I do some other cool stuff over there every day. But this is a video I've been thinking about doing for quite a while now. And it's 10 things I wish I knew about fragrances when I started my fragrance journey many years ago. And when did I start my journey? Okay, this is gonna be maybe a little bit embarrassing to admit, but about 35, 36 years ago, which is older than many of you guys that are watching this video. That's pretty scary. That's how long I've been into this. Long time, guys. Started when I was about 15 years old. I think my very first bottle I ever had was the Polo Green Original. This was the mid 80s now, okay? It was very popular then. And I had no idea what I was doing for many, many, many years. All right, and so I wish now that I knew all this stuff back then, and I'm gonna tell you the 10 things, and I'm gonna do it kind of in a descending order. And I'm gonna say this, can you guess what my number one thing that I wish I knew was? Put it down in the comments below, see if you guys can guess it, and by the time I get to number one, let me know if you guys guessed it. This will be a little fun game we can play. So, all right, number 10, let's get right into this. It took me too long to discover niche perfumery. Now, back in the 80s, you didn't really have such a thing as niche perfumery. Maybe there was independent or artistic, and I was too young to even know how to get into that. This was the 80s, for God's sake. But I really didn't get into niche perfumery until about 4 years ago. Maybe a little bit before that, Le Labo. I got my first Le Labo maybe 5 or 6 years ago. But it really wasn't until I actually stumbled into Osme Perfumery, walking one day through Wynwood here in Miami, and it changed everything for me. It just changed everything. For me, niche perfumery is the end-all be-all for me personally. It's not for everybody, but it is. So that's my number 10 thing. I wish I had discovered niche perfumery long before. Number 9, this is interesting. I wish that I had learned to appreciate what I have rather than want more of what I don't have. This is something, again, I think it comes with collecting, whether it be many different things. It could be watches, it could be any fashion item. I think it happens a lot with watches too. But learning to appreciate that I have, just appreciating the fragrances that I have and not always thinking about what do I want next, but really being in the moment. I think this kind of goes, with being in the present, living in the moment, and really kind of that philosophy of not always thinking about ahead what I don't have and what I want next. So it's really about appreciating what I have now, and I try to do that a lot better now with the fragrances I have and enjoying the ones that I have, okay? Number 8. Okay. I wish I'd learned this lesson long ago. Don't buy fragrances just because they are, quote, popular or, the ones that are trending. This was something that I did for years, whether it be from Polo Green to Polo Sport. These are all fragrances I enjoyed, but I just bought fragrances because I walked through the mall and these were what were popular, or these were the ads I saw on TV. Nowadays, obviously, we have all these fragrance groups and forums on Facebook and obviously YouTube channels. And I think people get caught up in what's, quote, popular and what's the best this, what's the best that. I really try to subscribe to the theory of what's best for me. Of course, I want to know what other people are considering. There are a lot of reviewers that I trust and I value their opinions, including subscribers. Many of you guys, I get great advice from you, and I really take it to heart when you give me advice also. But I don't want to just buy what's popular. All right, number 7. This is going to be an interesting one, and this is what I found to be the truth. Most people will not compliment you, so wear what you want, okay? Most people, the bottom line is, are not going to compliment you on a fragrance because most people are strangers when you're walking around. Maybe your loved one, the people that are close to you, your wife, your husband, somebody that, boyfriend, girlfriend. But let's face it, most people do not compliment somebody out of the blue on a fragrance. Just like most people don't come up and compliment you maybe on a shirt or a tie. Again, if it's somebody you know, it's going to happen more. I think compliments and compliment getting is way overblown in the fragrance community. Wear what you want. Most people are never going to say anything about it anyways, even if they like it. All right. Number 6. This is maybe a little bit controversial also. Beast mode does not equal best. For me, again, I love beast mode fragrances. I have certain beast mode fragrances that I wear and they project and they're long and they last over 15 hours. But for me, it's really enjoy the fragrance for what it is. I have lots of fragrances that are going to only give me maybe 4 or 5 hours, like eau de toilettes, that are just beautiful, high quality, both designer and niche fragrances. But that's what I get. So I think it goes towards expectations. And beast mode does not equal best. A lot of times that just means it's a super synthetic-y, kind of fragrance that is just poured in with lots of fixatives, as they call them, to help increase the longevity or increase the projection. It's just a lot of synthetics. You can go for a mostly all-natural fragrance, which is extremely high quality and maybe very expensive because it's so expensive to distill those fine fragrance notes, and you may only get 3 or 4 hours. So beast mode does not necessarily equal best. All right, number 5, top 5. All right, here we go. Don't blind buy. I say this all the time. Don't blind buy. I wish I had known this. Again, I bought so many fragrances over the years. I'll give you one, Acqua di Gio. Acqua di Gio is not a favorite fragrance of mine. I bought this, whatever it was, 10 or so years ago because of the recommendation of the girl at the counter. I used to buy almost all my fragrances because of the fragrance saleswoman, usually, at whatever retail department store I was at. And this has just led to too many mistakes over the years. I don't blind buy anymore. I will give a quick caveat. If it's super cheap and it's just worth it because it's so cheap and I can afford it and it's not taking away from something else that I need to spend money on, I will do it. But, to blind buy a niche fragrance or something expensive, an expensive designer fragrance, I wish I would have known that years ago because I won't do it. All right, number 4. Make sure to wear a fragrance a few times. And this kind of goes into the blind buy, and that's why I put it there. But to me, it's more than a blind buy. Rather than just say, for example, smelling a fragrance on a scent strip and then going, oh, this is great, you got to wear it, okay? So even if you're in a rush and you're at a department store, put it on your skin, walk around for a few hours, at least an hour. But ideally, I wear a fragrance a couple times. So most of the fragrance buying I do is at Osme Perfumery. You guys have seen me there a lot, obviously. And what I do is I wear a fragrance a lot of times 2 or 3 times, get a full day's wearing on it to see whether I like it, because I got to see that composition from the top notes to the dry down through the heart notes to the base notes. Because you may like something at the very top or even the middle, and then when it gets to the dry down, you hate it. That happens to me. So anyways, I always wear it a few times. Top 3. All right, here we go. Top 3. This is exciting. I wish I had a philosophy for wearing fragrances. I didn't have a philosophy. Again, I just bought haphazardly. I didn't know whether I was buying for the summer, for the spring, for the winter, for a suit, for an office, for a date. I just bought stuff. And I think now I have a philosophy. I know when I go in, am I looking something for spring or summer, lighter, for the beach maybe, for the gym maybe? Am I looking for something to wear with a suit? Am I looking to wear something maybe a little bit more at night, or maybe, a more of a date fragrance? So I have a philosophy that when I'm looking at a fragrance, I know what I'm like. And so it keeps me from just kind of randomly purchasing fragrances and adding to my collection when I don't need to add to it. Okay? So again, I think everybody try to develop your philosophy. Number 2, wish I'd known this. I didn't know why I liked certain smells versus others. Again, I just, you go to the, whatever retail counter and you smell something, a lot of times they're going to be fresh, marine, aqua scents that are just kind of very pleasing to everybody. It's like, again, just buying fast food that just kind of tastes good to everybody. But I didn't know why I liked anything. So part of what I'm saying here is I wish I'd done more research way back in the day, 30, 20, even 15 years ago when I was collecting. So I knew what is it, why I like a fragrance. I know now that I typically kind of gravitate more towards oriental fragrances. I like amber, I like cedar, I also like chypres, I like woody fragrances, I also like floral, I like typically more white floral fragrances. So these are the things that I wish I had known more when I started my collection. It would have saved me a lot of money and a wasted time, on buying fragrances that necessarily didn't suit my taste. So my recommendation is research. When you have a fragrance you really like, get to know it. Know who the perfumer is, okay? They have similar fragrances. Typically, they make similar fragrances, so that will lead you down to other fragrances that maybe you didn't know about. And again, research, okay? Know why you like something. Number one, here we are. Number one thing I wish I would have known about fragrances when I started way so long ago in the 80s, over 30 years ago, okay? More isn't better. Conversely, you could also say less is more, maybe. More isn't better. I think that for all of us in this fragrance journey, we tend to get caught up in just buying, and I've been there. And guess what? That just leads to fragrances sitting on my, sitting on my table. I have them all over my house because I'm obviously doing videos and because this is, my hobby and my YouTube journey. But I think that it's an easy rabbit hole to go down. And at the end of the day, for me, more is not better. I would rather have a curated collection of fragrances that I love, that I enjoy, that I wear, okay? Not ones that are just sitting on a shelf so I can snap pictures and say, hey guys, look at my collection. Isn't it great? I mean, look, more power to you if that's what you like. But at the end of the day, that to me, it just doesn't make sense. And I just don't think it fits into the lifestyle that I like of a more minimalist lifestyle. I want to have stuff that I like. So I really don't just go out and buy tons and tons of stuff, okay? I buy stuff that I know I like and what I'm gonna wear. So there you have it. Did you guys, so to kind of end the video, put in the comments, did you guess my number one? If someone guessed it, damn, you're good. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you found this useful. I hope you found this useful in your own fragrance journey. I know I wish I had watched a video like this, 20, 30 years ago and heard this information, because for me, this is something that I've accumulated over 30 years of, fragrance collecting and fragrance loving. Anyways, this is Joel the Nose. Thank you guys for watching. Again, Joel the Nose. Thank you for subscribing. And let me hear your comments and your thoughts. Let me hear other things. Those are my 10 things. Let me hear some things also that for you personally, you wish you would have known when you started your fragrance journey. This will be kind of a very good comment section. I want to really hear you guys and hear what everyone thinks. So thank you again for watching. Hope you're having a good one. Peace and love.